Completely.
We're straight.
Please.
What is up, guys? What is up? Welcome to Chit Chat with Chastity. And today I have one of my boys here, man. Now like family, we just kind of met each other and really got to embrace one another's stories and kind of connect that way. So Chele, thank you so much for just taking the time out and really, I hit him up randomly. I was like, hey, I want to do this interview with you. And immediately he's like, I'm actually here in Orlando. So, I had to come through and make it happen this moment. So, welcome, first of all.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Super humble.
I definitely just want people to know a little bit about you and who you are and what it is you do.
Well, my name is Henry Rodriguez. I do go by Chele. Long story short, from that nickname, it all came from baseball. And before, to just go elaborate into what I do, my whole life, I was a baseball player since I was 3 years young. That's all I knew how to do. So shout out to my athletes out there. Keep doing what you're doing. You still have the chance. You're still healthy, and everything. And that's all I did for literally almost 2 decades plus. When it comes to the game of baseball, and that didn't go the way it went. How I wanted to, because I got injured. And that's why I said, shout out, athletes out there. Make sure you're healthy. Make sure you're grateful where you at too, because by a snap of a finger, you just never know. Blink of an eye, everything could just go south. And then I just, entered this industry called network marketing. And I found a bigger purpose for this, because what I got from baseball, it was just the discipline, the consistency, the passion for the game. And obviously the wins and losses, it taught me so much. If you do play baseball and know about it, there's a lot of losses, there's a lot of failures that we have to, go through to actually get to that big win, that championship and everything. So I literally transitioned that towards the industry of network marketing, and I started to serve. I started to teach people how to build, this consistency habit, the positive habit, the mama mentality, the confident, the competitive in them, not with people, but just with themselves, to be great every single day. And now I'm here 3 years in this industry, and I literally run business, from all over the world, help people how to make money from home and from their phone. And now I'm here just serving every single day, and I'm truly just humbled and present to be here.
I love it. I'm smiling like a fool because I'm like, he really does do this like just for the people. Like I've seen him in action and in motion, and just your sincerity, your authenticity, and really just the knowledge that you spread with everyone. You can just tell it's more about the people than it is the profit. And I really just love that about you. Like you were somebody instantly that I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. But just the way that you hold yourself and that you speak, so it's truly admirable. And it's awesome to be on a team where I have access to you as well. So speaking on all your successes, can you talk about a time that you messed up and felt like you failed? Like how did you bounce back from that? Because even thinking about your initial story, to think about it, you had your success and it became a failure. You had your strength and it became a weakness. Like being, weak in baseball, now you didn't get to do that, but you turned around that weakness and made it a strength again somehow.
Of course. So it'll be the relationship part that I didn't really understand at the beginning. Really taking time to actually listening to people, because sometimes you're listening to listen. But I started to realize you want to listen to understand the person. Not even understand, understand. You want to understand the person from within, because everything starts within, internally, and then everything else comes out externally, out to the physical world. And at first, that's something that I didn't really embrace, and with time I started to see that, my organization wasn't growing, people didn't stay, people didn't see the vision, and I started to look at myself like, what is it? And that's what leaders do. That's what mentors, if you want to become that mentor and that person that you want people to follow you, I started to realize, like, what's the mistakes? Where are the missing holes that I got to go out and cover, so I can go out there and serve better, so.
Right. Oh, I love that. I wasn't expecting that. I love that. I always see you like so vibrant, and like your relationship skills, like now they're like tenfold. So I love that you flip that around completely. So, you know, being that you came from baseball to this, like, how did you learn to embrace risk taking? Because I'm sure that was a risk for you to come into this business not knowing, you know, like, you're a baseball player. You're like, I ain't swinging at nothing here. I mean, like, technically.
Literally. Yeah, and it's so funny how you put that into perspective. It's so true. Like, I'm like, it's like I'm a brand new baby. And I'm like,
reborn again.
Like, whoa, you know? So, you know, to answer your question there, it was more like, I saw life as we're not gonna make it alive. Started losing a lot of friends, started losing a lot of people around me, so many situations. I started to realize, like, life is already risky.
That's facts.
So I'm waking up every single day and I'm going all in, because today's the day that you never seen, and today's the day that you will never see again. So I started to realize every single day, okay, first I prayed and thanked God every single day that He woke us up. So if you've seen this right now, right, you're present with us, God woke you up. So that means He's not done with you. So why not take risk? What's the worst that could happen? That's what I started to tell myself.
What is it, yeah?
The worst that could happen is learning from it, you know? And that's how I started to do everything, because how you do one thing is how you do everything.
I love that. Yes, amazing. Okay, so think back 5 years ago and tell me, like, did you envision your career as what it is right now in this moment? Like 5 years ago, would you have seen yourself in this position that you're in right now?
Absolutely not. That's like a given, you know. I was seeing myself playing, you know, in the major leagues. Hitting a baseball.
Do you think that old version of you would have been open to this opportunity had, you know, you pursued baseball, or like would that have been your only thing? Like, would you have been about the risk taking had you not experienced having to take a risk? Do you think? Because, you know, obviously we don't know that version of you anymore.
Not really. I would. That's the thing, that I was the type of baseball player that was like plan A, plan B, plan C.
By the book, you're like,
yeah. If you told me something else, I supported you, cool. I like that. It was not like I put you to the side, but it's like, I gotta go here. I have literally been dedicating since I was 3. No distraction.
Right.
So
I can imagine. Yeah, you're like, nothing's changing my mind on this. Like, this is my set goal for life. Like, this is it.
Nothing. Like nothing.
Right.
Like, till this day, I'm still thinking about it. Like, I probably would tap something in my body. Like, I don't know where.
Something would have had to tap in for you. Like,
yeah.
Your connection to everybody is super
100%.
important. Like, what you give back right now, and maybe that was God's just way of kind of pulling you in a, you know, to our direction. So now we were able to have a piece of you that we wouldn't had you still been playing baseball. So
Definitely.
I'm grateful for that. You know, not that you got injured and stuff, but you know.
Things happen for
yeah,
me,
for
100%.
sure. So what are some leadership skills that were most difficult for you to develop?
Sheesh. That's a great one.
I know, digging deep.
Yeah, she's going deeper and deeper. Difficult?
Or like that you found more challenging than, you know, the easier things.
Understanding the roles. Understanding the roles, because there's levels to leadership.
For sure.
You know, I didn't really understand, because I always been a leader in everything that I was doing, especially with baseball.
Right.
Captains and stuff like that. But that was a skill that I, again, it was not over a month or a year. This was decades. On top of, you know, 2 decades.
Right. You worked toward
yes.
that. You know,
and I noticed that when it came to that, to baseball, like you said, I worked towards it and I developed it. But remember, I started somewhere. It was like that role. So the hardest thing was that when I came to transition this way, and I'm like, I'm a leader, like, but not understanding that the same type of leadership there in baseball, being a captain and everything, and leading most of the time, it was different here.
Right.
So that's
a different type of leadership.
100%.
I love that you said that. That just opened my mind to something, and I'm like, because, you know, I've always been a leader in things that I do, and I see exactly what you mean. Like, that was like light bulb in the head, ding, ding, ding.
And here, coming in here, think about it, it's like,
right? And you want to be a leader here because you see your own potential. Like, people start to help you realize that, and you're like, I see it in myself and I want that. But, you know, I see now how you mean, like, knowing the difference and knowing your role, knowing where you are in that moment, and being able to excel and get to that leadership position, earning it, earning it and
That's
not
what
just
it is.
having it, you know, right in that
You
instant.
gotta earn it 100%.
Right.
You gotta put in those hours. You gotta hit those books. Shout
Gotta
out
do
to
the work.
those people out there. I was not a student like that, like school, none of that. So I wasn't big with reading and books and stuff like that. So that's another part of the leadership that I had to like, okay, I need to study this. I need to study leadership.
How did you break that mold to open that door for yourself? Like, did you just start doing it and you're like, I'm gonna just have to do it?
So simple. I studied the greats. So when it came to baseball, I studied greatness. Like the one with the results. When it came to this, when leadership, I studied John C. Maxwell. But the best leader, which is God.
I love that. I'm like, oh, caught me. That's it. Now I gotta shut up for a second. All right. So, what are some things in your career that you regret not doing earlier? I know that's a tough one because I'm like, I'm not even far enough along, but
So regret. Okay.
Or okay, because I understand, like, not regret, like you learned something from it, like that you wish you learned sooner. Lessons that you had to take that you were like, damn, I had this happen again and again and again, and you're a revolving door with that issue.
This one got to me because it's something that I applied my whole life. But I thought that it was gonna be all sweet when it came to this, and not understanding like Chele, repetition. It was like, think about this, family. Whatever got you to where you at today, you know, any type of success, and obviously you keep growing. Why do we think it's okay to stop doing the basics? The repetition, staying in the trenches, like doing everything, all the skills that you developed to get where you are now. Why stop? And that's something that I was like, why? Like, if I knew, not knowing that, that's something that's like.
I like that saying, like, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that repetition really helps you do that, you know, just every day, like, you know, for morning routine and things like that. And that kind of helped me personally create that repetition sense, because I didn't really know that. I'm just like, yeah, I'm one to shop, you know, boom, 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 boom. Like, I could switch jobs as quickly as I wanted, but I realized that wasn't like, I'm like, okay, I'm just not committing and dedicating myself to do it and like really learning the process. So I love that. All right, so how do you effectively manage your time and prioritize accordingly?
My daughter. Because when she was first born, you know, I raised her for, obviously including her baby moms. Well, my baby moms, not her baby moms. I said her baby moms.
The baby's mom.
Yes. The balancing of time and how to do things. And yes, I was not perfect at it, but it was like, it taught me that the business, how can I put it? My life, my time in life should run with the business, not the business running my life. You know, and that's when it all comes down to, like, they also say when you have a business, the business should run with you, without you. And when it all comes back to the network marketing in general, the industry of it, is having that time freedom, you know. But before you gain that time freedom, you gotta know how to manage your time while you're going through the journey of it. You know, and at first I was really lost because I was like,
it's difficult, I'll be honest, you know, especially for people who haven't done it before. And it's like, wait a second, what? Like, I thought I was managing my time good this whole time, and honestly, I'm like, I was making a mess. It
was all over, and then you start to like overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important that you have a daily structure, and at least
how did you cut a little bit of that overwhelming? Did you like maybe like take down your to-do list, or like, you know what I'm saying, like take a couple of things off and maybe like manage it throughout the week? What did that process
like Jim Rohn says, don't let the day run you, you run the day. So I'm like, okay, so if I'm running the day, I'm in control of like the plan of action throughout my day. And I realized that if you don't really have a morning routine, you're gonna be overwhelmed. You don't have a morning routine, and it all starts from there. So with the daily structure towards it, leads to the weekly, monthly, and yearly. And we speak about it the other way too, like your yearly goal, monthly goal, weekly goal, daily goal. But that's where it starts.
Yeah.
The power of the hour of that day.
Power of the hour.
Of that day. So it leads to that daily structure, then it leads to the weekly,
Right.
Stuff like that. Now you in flow state. Now you're in control of your time. The time is not running with you. You just in control of your time. Like every hour of the day, you know exactly. You need to know exactly what you need to do, and not just meaning let me just do something every hour. No,
right.
Like,
you know, and people mistaken that.
Yes.
They're like, okay, let me just move, but really you're not doing anything that's productive. It's like, yeah, let me do this, but like, really, are you doing anything? You know, you're like half-assing it, but you're just up from the bed, so it feels like, okay, I'm doing something. So I totally understand.
Denzel Washington said that. Don't confuse movement with progress.
Don't confuse movement with progress.
Because you could just move in the same place.
And this is true. I've witnessed it. I've been there, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I love that. Okay, so what does a typical day look like for Chele?
Serving. I love it.
I know you do. I believe that.
Finding
100%.
ways to serve, finding ways like Shetty, my mentor, he's a monk, changed my life completely. He says, in order for you to experience new things in life, you got to do new things with yourself. So a typical day with me, you find me trying something new, being creative.
Right.
You know, by picking your brain and just like, you might not even know that I'm picking your brain for a reason.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like I'm
what
trying to
is
learn
leading to?
something here. Well, you have intention behind what you're doing as well.
Everything.
You know, I mentioned that a lot in the podcast, you know, the videos, and I really like, can you touch on that a little bit? Just intention for you, what it means for you, and how important
Intentions?
it is.
Oh,
Intentions.
Yes, of
Hit them
course.
with it. Because they need to know.
Write this down. Attention, like when you want attention versus intention. So you see, most people, they just want attention, right? And they put their mind obviously to attend to a certain thing, but it's like, what's the intention for that action? So when it comes to intentions, like when you brushing your teeth, when you about to make your bed, you know, in the morning, when you're about to take a shower, like even those little things, you want to do with an intention. You don't want to, oh, let me just make my bed to just make my bed. No, make that bed like the best bed. You make that bed like the best bed that you can ever make. Make that bed. You're going to make a sandwich, make that sandwich like the best sandwich. Intention, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, so it becomes second nature. So when it comes to this the video today, there was an intention behind this. You know, we just executed to it, but there's an intention behind this. What's the intention behind this? It's not just for me or to talk about myself. The intention behind it is because these are questions that Chastity came in here and understood what specific question can help people out there. How can I serve? This videos that she's doing, and she will keep doing this, is to help you guys. That's the intention behind all of this. How can I put my voice, my gift, people that she knows, that she's close to, that can also help her serve? There's an intention behind it. It's not the intention of, oh, let me see how I look on the camera. Let me put myself, put my face out there. No, there's an intention behind everything that we do, and it should be like that for the rest of your life. You know, because we're not gonna do things for fun. We're not gonna do things, you know, just to do it. That's why you're probably getting just to do it results. But there's an intention behind everything, and it could be a phone call. Even to call your parents and say you love them, but set that intention like where they can feel that. You know, the intention just to speak with my daughter every single day, there's an intention behind it, you know? And it's just how everything works. And it just becomes, now if I don't do something with an intention, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like,
right, like, why am I doing this?
You know, so just know the difference between attention versus intention. And just become intentional with everything that you do, and you're gonna start to see everything's gonna start to unfold. A lot of blessings gonna come, you know, everyone's way, not just ours, but everyone here that starts to apply this.
I love that. I'm like, I wish I had pen. Like, I have a book right here, but I'm like, I need notes. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this again. But thank you for that. You know, just even you saying what the intention of these videos are. You know, because sometimes I feel like people really don't understand or think like I'm trying to, you know, do something more than I am, when really all I want to do is help. Like, I just want people to have access to the things that I do, because I know that they're not in my shoes, one, or they may not have the vision that I have, which is fine because everybody has their own vision. But, you know, I want them to understand too that these outside sources, these people that you probably thought you'd never go and talk to, that they have so much value to really give you. And you don't know until you get there and you actually try it or have a conversation with somebody that you were intrigued by, instead of being scared and taking that risk, because you never know where it leads to these conversations and what's going on right in this moment. So thank you again.
Of course.
And last thing, you know, is there something I know you mentioned, you know, meditation is a big thing for you. So I wanted you to give these guys some sauce on your meditation station.
Wow, this right here, let's be present, put your phone down, put your nose down, record it if you need to record it.
I'm gonna get a charger so that this doesn't die, because I will be very upset.
Definitely. So just be very present on exactly what I'm about to share with you, because this is literally what will help you. Like, this is like, it will. There's no, like, if there's a slight percentage that it won't, it will help you with everything that you're doing in life right now. So meditation literally completely changed my life, because now I am able to be in control of all my thoughts that runs through my mind. My vision is really like, is clear. You know, most of us are walking and waking up every single day with no direction. You might have a target, you might have all these dreams, but you can't really get there as fast as you can because your vision, your mind is cluttered. You know, it's just with all this distraction. It's like you walking outside right now and it's super foggy. You know, that's like your vision right now, and that's your mind. And what meditation did for me, and it still does to this day, is help me become more present and aware and grounded to the universe to get the message that I need to, you know, get every single day, because every single day counts. So I want to give you an example. I want to put this into perspective. I use this example for, you know, to everyone. Let's say right now you want to go to your destination, you know, maybe an hour away from where you at right now. Let's say if you going to your, you know, your aunt's house or a baby shower or something, for example. You got to get in the car, right? And it's pouring outside. Right? In order for you to get from point A to point B, from your home to the baby shower or wherever it is that you got to get to, you need your windshield on, like, because it's pouring outside. You gotta make sure it works, and then you have it on. So why is that? Because that's how you're gonna be able to see while you're driving, right? You gotta clear your vision to get from point A to point B. You see, meditation, that's what is gonna do to everything that is in your mind right now. Because remember, right now you're listening to two voices. My voice and your own voice right now. And every single day, the most important voice that you're gonna forever hear is your own voice. So with meditation, all these self-talk that you're telling yourself, most of them, without meditation, is gonna be negative. It's just how our brain works. There's some positive, but there's always that fear. Those fear, you know, thoughts, those old paradigms and programming that you have since you was a child, that is still there subconsciously as well. So when it comes to meditation, it helps you with your breathing, right? As another thing that a lot of people are not getting taught, how to properly breathe and be in control of your breathing. Like, take a deep breath right now for 4 seconds, right? Let's do it right now. Mm-hmm. Hold it for 4. And release for 4. You see, how many of us is taking at least 5 minutes, maybe 3 sessions a day, 5 minutes to just work on your breath work? Last time I checked, I went all the way to college, they're not even having a class to, this just a class just for breath work. But in the monk school out there, you have 7, 8, 9-year-olds teaching older people and even their own age in front of the class, having a breathing session, just breath work.
Think like a monk.
Think Like a Monk. Definitely recommend you that book. Write that down. Think Like a Monk by Shetty, and follow him also on all platforms.
It's crazy that you mentioned that breathing. I literally said that today in my story on Instagram. That was the exact passage that I shared. The 10-year-old boy who was teaching the kids for breathing exercise, and he said, what is the only thing that you do, no matter what you're doing? He's like, you're always breathing. And that's the only thing that changes when you're going through hardship, when you're going through struggle. The only thing that changes is your breath. So why not learn to take care of it?
Exactly. Because that's what it is. When you're not in control of the simplest thing, which is your breath, how are you going to be in control of your actions? How are you going to be in control of your thoughts and ideas? How are you going to be in control of, like I say, every step you take, every word that comes out your mouth? You're not in control. Because remember, last time I checked, it's safe to say they always told us, think before you talk. Think before you act. Most people are acting and then they see the consequences and then they start thinking. Mm-hmm. Right? It goes back to being impeccable with your words. You got to be impeccable with your words. You got to think before you talk, because your words is like literally, your tongue is so powerful. But it all falls back to meditation. What are you telling yourself before it comes out vocally? When it comes out, obviously, to the physical world, what are you putting out to the universe? But you're not gonna have the right intention. You're not gonna have the right mindset. You're not gonna be clear and aligned with your vision if your mind is cluttered with all these negative, BS. And I want to be the one to tell you that I didn't like. I not agree, but I was like, I don't really. What's meditating? Like, what's that?
Yeah, like what's sitting down in silence?
Stills, just in this pose and just being in control. When I started to really study the monks, they do 2 things, excuse me, every single day. Half of the day, they're just working on the breath work, self-talks. That's it. Half of the day. So if you're meditating for 30 minutes, an hour, that's nothing compared to how monks do it. And then the other half of the day, they're serving. You don't hear a monk, oh, this happened in the news and this monk did this. You don't hear like, oh, let's
crazy monk on the loose.
Right? Like, you don't hear like, oh, let's go out, this and that. Invite your monk friend. You don't hear this.
That would be dope though, but yeah.
Right? You don't hear the monk like word, and you don't hear this anywhere, no type of conversations. So I'm a very curious person. I'm like, why? Like, why? And I started to realize that monks, they live in their own world. They're not distracted by anything. They're super just tapped in. They're so positive. People don't actually want to even know about them, because that's how tapped in they are. They're just so elevated, so high that people they can't even reach that type of frequency. Is it possible? Of course, but it's like, it's different. So I'm like, you know what? Back to the risk. What am I gonna lose by tapping in and actually starting to think like a monk? Let me study them. And my life changed because it started with the meditation. Now I see and I clearly see my vision. Now I see my true purpose. Like, why am I here? Most of us, we probably don't even know why we're even here. You probably know, but you don't have that awareness. You're not present enough to understand your purpose. And meditation completely just, now I'm more present. I'm more aware. I'm in control of my breath. When something bad happens, I don't react. I respond. I don't lose control. Like, I'm in full control. Like, I know I don't have to say a word, and I reject and accept just with the power of my mind. I don't need to say a word. Another thing when it comes to the meditation part is understanding that if I can meditate and be in control of myself internally in chaos, remember this, in chaos, because it's not just about being aware and still and practicing this in you know, in the mountains or near the beach or in the silent. You want to master this to the T that you could do this even in chaos. Because right now, think about it. There's chaos going on in this world right now. It's a lot of people losing their lives, a lot of people killing themselves, you know. There's a lot of people doing a lot of negative things to other people. You know, they're reacting because they're not in control of their own action. They're lost right now. They're like so messed up. So I realized that. I'm like, you know what? If I could keep mastering being more aware, more present, more still, more grounded, I can help, because now I just got to put myself in these chaos situations and see how can I now, like, at least start a little conversation that can just help somebody just shift their paradigm.
Right, because that really is all it takes.
That's that one person, you know, that
person,
one conversation,
one thing.
You know, that one relationship, that one connection, and next thing you know, it spreads. It spreads. And it starts with you. So in order for me to keep delivering and leading by example when it comes to thinking like a monk, it starts with me. Until this day, you know, it has helped me, and forever it's going to, because if it wasn't because of meditation, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't be aware of the things that I should be aware of. I wouldn't be present, you know. Let go of this, you know, technology that you probably not too much aware of. Like, you're so stuck into this tool. Don't let it use you. You know, don't let it, you know, because you're not present. You might be so attached to this tool, and now you're missing opportunities around you to serve. You're missing opportunities now because you're not present and aware. You're missing a conversation that you could have easily kept going for the next 5 minutes, but because you're so attached to the phone, now you miss an opportunity to bless somebody. This tool right here that you're watching this from is really powerful. So use it for the positive. Don't let it use you and then mess you up, and then all these negative things starts to trend, you know, and it's really, really dangerous. But hey, we got to be aware. We got to be present, and meditation will definitely help you. You never meditated, I do recommend you to get guided. It's a guided meditation by Shetty. And yeah, just it will change your life, because I know for sure if it could change mine, if it could change our life, you know, it could definitely change yours. But you just got to make that decision. You got to take that risk in a way, if you want to put it in that perspective. And yeah,
I'll definitely include that link at the bottom of this video so that we have that. I'll get that information from him to share with you guys. But thank you so much. That was so powerful, and what a closing. You know, thank you so much again for just taking this time out. Really, you know, I'm learning. I hope you guys took down some notes, and if you didn't, please go back, watch it again. It'll be here for your use. It's here for mine as well. I got some notes. I'll be here with this guy for the rest of the night, so I'll be taking more. But Chele, thank you so much. And I really, really would like to have you back on here again, and maybe even, you know, do a little meditation for these guys. If you'd be up for that, I would definitely
100%.
love to supply them with it.
Yeah,
all right,
100%.
we will leave you with that, guys. So chit chat with me next week. I'll catch you then. Later.